Hey guys, welcome back or to the channel. We're going to be working on this CBR500R, and today we're going to move some of this stuff around. I just got an actual email in, and it said that the body panels, new ones that are coming for this Humpty Dumpty, if you will, are going to be here February 18th. So somewhere around this weekend sometime they'll show up. Could be a little bit later, could be a little bit sooner, who knows. But back to the matter at hand. That little filter right there, the Canon air filter, we call it air intake. We're going to be installing it today. Now, generally speaking, when you're doing any kind of modifications, you want to change your fuel map for your bike. We're not going to be able to do that right now. And putting a cold air intake won't change too much. A slip-on exhaust won't change too much. But if you did a full racing exhaust, then you'd seriously want to look into changing your fuel map, because since you have a cold air intake and a full racing exhaust, so it's going to be free flowing, also going to be sounding way cooler, but you're going to need a lot more fuel because the bike will be getting much more oxygen, and that means it's going to be running very lean, which is not great. The motor will probably detonate itself. It'll eat itself. That being said, that's when you need a fuel module. And we'll be looking at that later on. But for today, just doing an air filter and doing a slip-on exhaust like a lot of people do. No issues with that. I've done the research, talked to a lot of tuners, spent about 4 hours on it, and that was the unanimously across the board. When I get to doing the exhaust on the bike, you'll hear me say the same thing. Now, if you do all these modifications and you take your bike to someone to get it tuned or flashed, it's going to cost you $300 approximately. You can buy a tuner and download tunes online for about $500 to $600, and then you can change them whenever you want or go back to stock. Additionally, they have other equipment that could benefit you. Yep, we'll be opening the garage for that. Let's see what the decibels are for this. So when we start it up, we'll keep it right there. Yes, you can view it. So there we go. Let's get started up and then run it. So that's a good baseline. The seats are now removed. We have access to everything. First thing we do is remove the positive terminal, put the fast-acting hardware back onto the battery. Negative terminal, put the fast-acting hardware back on the battery. Take the cables out, put them off to the side. There's a strap, we remove that. And then there's a little tray at the bottom, little rubber thing. It's a vibration insulator, that's very important. We take that out, clean it, put it back in. And the strap itself can come out as well. We'll put that back in when we reinstall the battery. That gets us to where the air filter is. There's 4 screws, plus a single screw that holds on a sensor. We take all that off, so 5 screws total. The bottom 2 are captive, like temporarily. They have little latches, you'll see that in the video. And then you can get access to your air filter. Remove that air filter with the 4 screws. We don't have to put them back. The Canon air filter goes on to that. And then it gets you the idea of like, oh, I could do ram air. Well, we'll do that later on, down the road, at a different time. But that being said, when you're looking at ECUs, you have 3 types. The type where you take your ECU for your motorbike and send it out to get flashed. The second one is a piggyback tune. It just does the fuel maps and probably some other stuff like a quick shifter, auto tune, stuff like that. Really good. And then the last one is a programmer. That's what I would choose. And then that way you can change your programs any which way you want. Some of them have diagnostic tools and they can show you in real time data. They can also do limited data logging, and you can access the tunes online to put onto the tuner, and then that therefore can be sent off to your bike itself. At which point you can also get different licenses for different bikes using that same tuner, so it pays off in the end.
Captive.
So they're not going to come out. Nice. So the top ones. Okay. So the top ones come out like that, but the bottom ones are captive. Oh wait, they come out. Oh, I see. They have a little latch. That's what it is. So that's handy. So they do come out even though they're captive. Okay. So that's your air filter. cool. The one thing I do know is that these get removed. As you see here, filter goes bye-bye, these go bye-bye, and you just plunk the new one on. That's it. It says here that a 2015 CBR500R Honda makes 49.6 horsepower. So that means if you had this filter in for the 10%, you would gain 4.96 horsepower. And that means that in total, it'll be 54.56 horsepower. Probably at the crank, not at the tire. So here's the air filter, and pretty clean. Don't see too much debris. Wouldn't expect too much. So now the Canon, you know what? I could totally remove this too. So remove this and then remove this, I think. But essentially, I just open this up. So that's what we have for these two. And the air comes in here, goes out there to the motor. So this is just a less restrictive version of this. It's got a little metal shield and everything. Very, very over-engineered in my thought process. At least this is washable. It's one of the reasons why I like them. And it gives you that little bit more power, 10%. Which isn't a lot, but when you have a small motor, it is a lot. And like that, she's installed. That's how you're supposed to leave it, because the air comes in this way, and then it gets filtered through here, and then out. I was really surprised there wasn't another vent on top here, because like you'd think that more surface area for more pleats, you know. But that's it, and then this gets this reinstalled, and I am still debating on removing that, but it sits right down in here. And I guess they kind of got like a ram air thing going on. And then the battery sits there. So maybe, yeah, I'll keep this for now, but in the future, I might build myself my own ram air system. That'll be cool. That's the way down the road. For now, we're gonna keep it as is. So now we're just gonna reinstall everything. So I'll just take this and I'll reinstall the bolts that are semi-captive. So by semi-captive, you can see how to take them out, but you do that, it doesn't fall out. But you can push them out, so they're semi-captive. Now to reinstall everything, as you just saw, in reverse. Time lapse. Everybody knows that these Canon air filters are performance related, and it's buy once, cry once kind of thing. But the real caveat is the paper air filters are like 20 bucks a pop, or on average, probably a bit more now. And yes, the Canon is 80 bucks, but after 4 oil changes or 20,000 kilometers of when you're scheduled to do this, maybe it's double that. Yeah, it depends on the manufacturer specs. The filter actually pays for itself. Okay, garage door open. Bike on. Run. Start. I'll let you guys be the judge of that 10% increase. That all being said, thanks for watching, guys. The next thing I want to do is install the exhaust, and that's a whole video to replace that heavy thing. That's probably a good 30 pounds. We'll check that out too. And I'm just going to put the seats and everything all back, put my tools back. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.